down the basement, lock the cellar door, and baby, talk bloody to me.
Hi, welcome to another exciting episode of Talk Bloody to Me. I'm Matt,
And I'm Breezy.
and we're here tonight, whatever time you're listening, with another two movies. This week, we're talking about Scream 3 to continue our uh, seeing movies with guests that are going to be at Crypticon, Minnesota. And then we're also following up on our vampire theme from last week by watching Abigail, which Breezy had previously recommended and really liked.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the plan
There
for
was a
today.
lot of hype on that one.
Yeah, there was. I actually, when I saw Imaginary, I saw the preview for Abigail for the first time, and I was like, "Ooh, this looks good."
Yeah, it's definitely a good one.
Yeah. So do you have any news this week, or is there anything going on that needs to be talked about in the horror world?
Not so much news, but me and Matt are planning on going seeing next week Friday to see in nature
In a
in Violent in Nature
Yep, in a
in
violent
theaters.
nature. Yes,
So I'm excited.
I am too. Should be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I did see something about there's like a new Friday the 13th franchise universe they're planning on launching with a whole bunch of video games and movies and everything. I didn't see a whole lot of details other than there was just this big announcement that they announced that.
I have seen like on YouTube trailer that Welcome to Derry, like a
Oh,
series on HBO Max, and I was like, I keep hearing about it, and it's like, dude, when is it going to actually freaking happen so I can actually watch it? Because I'm really pumped for it.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Me too.
So I
I'm
was like,
excited for
here
that.
the hell up.
Yeah, exactly. Is Chucky over? Are there still episodes of that left?
There's going to be, I'm hearing there's going to be another season,
Okay,
but season
cool.
3 was really good.
Oh, nice. All right. Well, without further ado, let's jump into Scream 3. And I know you're a big fan of the Scream franchise,
I'm not
Breezy.
too much of a big fan. I do like it. It's
Okay.
better than, Freddy Krueger.
Right.
But yes, I do like Scream, yes.
Yes. Scream, the kind of the theme, the killer in Scream is Ghostface, and he's kind of unique in that, unlike, say, Jason or Michael Myers or Freddy, there isn't really a person that's Ghostface. Ghostface is like a costume and identity that lots of different people throughout the series have taken up. And kind of the common thread is that they have a like they'll taunt people with horror movies. Like they'll say, "Do you like scary movies? What's your favorite scary movie?"
Yeah.
And he's all and in the first few movies, at least, he's all about after Sydney for various reasons.
Mm.
Sydney, what's your favorite scary movie, Sydney? That's how he sounds.
I love Sydney. That's like actually my favorite character. I do
Yeah,
not like Gail Weathers though.
yeah. You know, so Sydney is
No.
played by Nev Campbell, and Gail Weathers is played by Courtney Cox, who survived two Scream movies, but apparently her bangs didn't because she's got some effed up hair in this movie. I
Yeah,
don't.
she does.
When they first show her, it's like, ooh, Courtney, get your agent on the phone.
Right?
But and then so that's Gail Weathers. She's the reporter that's always sticking her beak in there and getting involved. um,
She re she bugs the crap out of me in Scream movies. I
yeah,
it just she really I was come on. I just she really bugs me every time I watch these like Scream movies.
yeah,
It's like irritating. She
yeah.
irritates me.
And then in this one you get fake Gail Weathers. You get Parker Posey, whatever her character is, the actress that's because in the movie Scream 3, they're making the movie Stab, which is based off of the real quote unquote real life
Mhm.
murders of Scream. So it's like the movie within the movie. And so you have your Parker Posey as fake Gail Weathers, who is almost as annoying as real Gail Weathers.
Yeah, yeah. Well, both are kind of snobby in a way.
Yeah. And so then you have Sydney, and her mom was murdered. Uh, thought it was one guy, turned out to be another guy, and then it's also some other guys, and it's revenge, and there's a whole convoluted. Watch all the Scream movies and
Mm,
follow the trail because it goes deep. It's like this
it
happens, but this
definitely
happens because
does.
this happened, and there's some big revelations in this Scream 3. And that I don't know what happens after Scream 3. I don't think
You haven't seen any of the like Scream movies?
I've seen Scream 1, 2, and 3. I haven't seen any of them since then.
Holy crap! You gotta watch the rest of them.
I know, right? We maybe have to have
Oh,
a Screamathon.
yeah. So in Scream 3, we're talking about Brockton. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
And he's going to be at Minnesota Crypticon. That's why we're doing Scream 3.
Mm-hmm.
And he was actually a stunt man, not the
Mm-hmm.
actual ghost face. But I'm
Right.
pretty sure he did some stuff in there.
Yeah. A lot of times with the horror movies with the killers, they have stuntmen during a lot of like the fighting or the action scenes or that kind of stuff. So they can push them out of windows or throw them
Mm.
off balconies or that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I actually like looked on Google Images. I'm like, okay, what scene was he actually is doing? And
Mm-hmm.
this one of the scene was he was dressed up in, ghost face, and
Mm-hmm.
he was actually on the balcony. This is like towards the end, getting
Mm-hmm.
towards the end. And he was like throwing that chick or guy off the railing, and that's actually him.
Okay.
Yeah. I was like, okay, now I
Now,
know where
yeah.
he's playing.
Yeah. What do you think of Deputy Dewey, David Arquette?
I like him as this in the Scream movies.
Yeah, he does good. He does a really good job of being like kind of quiet but nice, and it's
Mm.
hard, like he's kind of a dork but not really, but kind of. I don't know, it's
And
hard to
he's
describe.
and then he always like gather other Gale Weathers always go to him. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I think they're like ex-husband or ex-wife or something like that.
Yeah,
I
I
was like, don't, come on, Dewey, don't take her back.
don't.
Ugh.
Yeah. So Scream 3, the spoiler alert, the killer could copy everyone's voices with a little voice box, and he lured everyone into traps. But there was a cast of all stars. You got your Nev Campbell, Parker Posey, Liv Schreiber, uh, Patrick Dempsey is like a cop. Uh, who am I forgetting? Million other people. Some
Yeah,
other dudes
it's like a mix of everything in there.
right in the middle of nowhere. All of a sudden, there's a Jay and Silent Bob cameo that totally caught me off guard. They're like, "Hey, Jay, Silent Bob!" Like outside the movie studio.
So you never ever seen Scream 3. This is your first
No, I saw
time.
I saw Scream 3 in the theater, like when it was out brand new.
So like
This is
2000s.
Yeah, so this is probably like the first time I've seen it in probably 20
Gee,
years at least.
you probably forgot a lot of stuff then.
I did. I totally forgot there was a Jay and Silent Bob cameo.
Oh my
There's
God.
Carrie Fisher in there talking about how
Yeah.
she was like the Princess Leia lookalike, but the other one got it because she slept with the director, which is kind of a theme that comes up a lot in Scream 3 is sleeping with
Mhm.
the director to get parts in movies.
That is correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually on Jeff, he was actually in Speed 2.
Okay.
He was a stuntman for that. He's just like a stuntman for multiple movies. That's what I've seen. And
Okay.
that's including like one of the Fast Furious, I think.
Okay.
I
Well, there's a
believe. Don't
million of
quote me on it.
them. Yeah.
I was like, dang.
I think statistically, like 10% of the population has been in a Fast and the Furious movie just because there's been so many of them that
Hmm.
everyone's gotten in the background at some point. I'm just
Right.
messing with you. Anyway, so let's move on to Abigail. This was highly recommended by Breezy.
Uh-huh. I told you, I'm like, you
Yes,
gotta watch it. Seriously.
yes. Abigail still, I think, is in theaters and it's streaming on most platforms. And what it is a group of criminals. They don't know each other. They're like all professional, high tech criminals. They were hired to kidnap this girl. She's doing ballet in a big empty ballroom in the middle of the night for some reason. No one thinks that's suspicious, but she seems like she's just an ordinary little rich girl. They kidnap her. They're told they have to keep an eye on her for over 24 hours. What they don't know is she's a vampire and it's all a big trap. Spoiler
Hmm.
alert.
I so the second time I actually, rewatch it just to get fresh in my memory for, this episode. But
Mm-hmm.
I kept like was paying attention to like how, where did she turn to a vampire? It doesn't really say how she actually turned to a vampire.
Yeah, her she said the one that's like, I think the room with the big light. She says, "I hate this room. My father turned me here," is what she
Oh
says.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, but it doesn't really go into a whole lot of detail.
Yeah. So it's like a split second of explaining and then
Yeah,
boom.
like
Yeah.
literally one line. That's it.
Yep.
And then her father is apparently a vampire. Wouldn't it be great if Nicolas Cage walked in at the end?
Oh
Was like
yeah.
Abigail.
That'd be a kicker right there.
Yeah. Abigail and Renfield, the style of vampire actually kind of have similarities in that these aren't just like uh sexy, Twilight sparkly vampires that are going to leave little needle pinpricks in your teeth. No, this Nicolas Cage had his mouth full of needle teeth, and Abigail has like shark teeth almost, and she doesn't just nibble on their neck. She like takes a big chunk and like rips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The actress of the little girl, Alicia
Yeah.
Wiener, or how you pronounce her last name.
Alicia Weir, I think.
Yeah, and she did really, really well considering her age as being a vampire.
Yeah.
Her look, her vampire look, just everything. Her playing Abigail was just phenomenal.
She is a very talented actress for her age, and even in the beginning, before she's like revealed to be the vampire and they're like threatening her with guns and stuff, and she's like looks so scared, she's like, "No, don't shoot." And you find out later she's just messing with them, but she's such a good actress, she looks like she's actually scared of them.
Right.
Yeah.
No, she actually played really, really well. I think this is her first movie. I didn't really actually look her up to see if she is actually doing more movies.
I have it
But
right here, I'll just check real quick.
because if this was her first movie, that would be like, wow.
She has 8 credits on IMDb. Don't leave. Looks like a lot of kid stuff. Yeah, this looks like the first big movie.
Okay, so this is her first horror movie.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
she's got to keep that up because she's
Oh wait,
really
what's
good.
this? Don't Leave Home in 2018. Looks like it was a horror movie. Interesting. Well, maybe you have
Huh.
to check that out. But yeah, she
Oh
did a
yeah.
really good job. Between what the actress in Late Night with the Devil did such a good job of playing a creepy possessed girl, but this one she does a tremendous job as a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently she must really, either they had a body double or else she really knows ballet, because part of the thing is that she is like a little ballerina as she
Well,
vamps
you
out.
kind of have to because like all those dance scenes and
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
So
One part.
she
Oh,
must be like some type of ballerina or they trained her.
yeah, exactly. So getting into a little bit of spoiler, so then she basically runs amok and the criminals have to sort of band together, but of course they don't trust each other. The one muscle guy, they call him Peter, and then they draw a picture of a dick on his face.
Yeah.
So that's
Why do you have a
convenient.
dick on your face?
Yeah.
Like seriously, the dick goes like right
Right.
here.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, he's gonna like suck dick or something.
Yeah. It's like that's easy to remember. His name's Peter because he has a Peter on his face.
Yeah.
I don't know, something about the guy. I thought he looked like Elon Musk crossed with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like if Elon Musk took a bunch of roids and
Yeah.
like
Kinda, yeah.
it's like that's an interesting guy. But he's funny. When he bashes into the door, it's like the big metal thing is there, and he like runs into it as hard as he can, and then he goes, "It's locked." Like that.
Well, he was like halfway what no, he not say halfway drunk, but he was like wasted.
Right.
So
True.
that's why he probably has a dick on his face. Cheap.
Yeah. And there's a couple people get picked off pretty quick. Frank is kind of like the brains of the operation. And Joey is like the kind of like our hero that we're kind of rooting for. And then there's Sammy is like the computer girl. Probably one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie is she basically gets possessed or Abigail mind controls her by biting
Yeah.
her. And then
Yeah,
Abigail is
especially
dancing.
yeah, that is actually my favorite scene when she is actually like possessed. That scene, and also there's a scene in the beginning of the movie where she well kinda I want to say 30 minutes in.
Yeah.
She's like dancing and she had blood on her, on her ballerina dress and on her face, and she's like dancing with this like I think dead doll. I
Oh
think
yeah,
that
yeah.
demon with the
Like a
face
dead
cut off.
body, but with like its face cut off. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, the whole head's gone, and she's like dancing. I'm like, dude, I love this scene.
Yeah. And she's super like doing it totally serious, like not like any kind of like laughing or being creepy or being like, vampire about it. She's just like totally doing a serious dance, but except that it's
Mm.
a dead body and she has blood all over herself.
Yeah. I something
Yeah.
about that scene and that the same scene, but a different, with the
Mhm.
chick when she's possessed. But
Yeah.
both of them are really good. I can't really compare the two. I just like,
Yeah.
I can't rate them both. It's really good.
Yeah, the part with Sammy is Abigail's controlling her, and so they keep cutting back and forth where they show Abigail dancing, and then they cut to Sammy, and she's like doing the same moves that Abigail's doing because it's like she's her puppet, and
Yeah.
and they keep cutting back and forth and back, and it's really cool. It's a really
Yeah.
cool scene.
That whole scene was freaking awesome.
Yep,
I can't complain about this movie at all.
yep. Another thing I really like about this movie is how the sunlight affects vampires.
Mm.
Like in some movies, a lot of times sunlight kills vampires, or most of the time. Some like I think Bram Stoker's Dracula, like he can go out in the sun, it's no big deal. But sometimes it's like a slow, like not in this movie. This movie, it's like they're a balloon full of water and someone pokes a pin into them and they just go
Yeah.
like, like it's
Well,
like
and
instant
she gets
explosion.
shot in the freaking like, head like a bullet, and then
Yeah,
she still wakes up,
yeah,
and she just just wipes her right off and then goes right back to business.
that was a
Like,
really cool part too. It's like she has the bullet hole in her head and it's bleeding, and she goes like this to wipe, like she's wiping the blood off, but then she wipes the whole wound away, and like her
yeah,
skin is perfect underneath. It's really
dude,
cool.
yeah, that was fucking sick. I like that.
Yeah. And then later she gets her one hand in the sunlight.
Yeah,
But then they show it growing, like the bone growing back out. Like,
yeah, that was really cool. I like that scene too.
yeah.
There's also like another scene. It's like a little bit more serious. There's no killing scenes, but when she's in the cage,
Mm-hmm.
and she's just sitting there just talking, and just her eyes, her long hair, and just how she's like talking, being all serious.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, I just love her. She's so pretty.
Yeah.
She really is.
Yeah. And she seems very like she does a great job of acting very more mature for her age.
Hmm.
Like because she says something about how she's been like she says something like, oh, it takes 200 years of practice or something like that. Oh, she's talking, someone says nice moves and she's like, thanks, I've had 300 years of practice or something. I
Yep.
don't remember the exact number, but she has that way. Oh, Joey says you do a really good job of pretending to be a little girl, and she's like, thank you. And like just the way she says it is like, and she
Yeah,
spells it.
she's like, thank you.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
thank you.
Yeah,
Kind of snobby, but not really.
yeah. So does this mean we can see you're gonna do a Abigail cosplay in the near future?
You really think I want to dress in a ballerina outfit?
Yeah, sure. Put enough fake blood on.
What the
Just
hell?
okay. Sorry.
I would do it. I mean,
Just throwing that out there.
well, a lot of people can see like when they see my feet, I legit have like a ballerina feet, no joke.
Oh
And
yeah.
so I could play it off, but I can't
There you
stand
go.
like that.
Yeah. uh anywho,
That'd be a
so
good cosplay, but I really don't know. Me and a ballerina, nobody can see that coming.
yep, and then just get some crazy fangs, some fake teeth, and a lot of fake blood.
Well, I have fangs, so
There you go. We're
but
gonna sign you
overall
up.
it's a good movie.
It is for sure, definitely.
So what do you rate it?
Ooh, ooh. I think I'm gonna give it 9. Really, I think 9 buckets of blood because really, what more could you want from a
Mhm.
movie about a vampire ballerina? I mean, if you're looking for Shakespeare, or like if you're looking for some deep, like, I don't know, Gone with the Wind, it's maybe not gonna deliver, but it is a vampire ballerina movie with criminals and guns,
Mhm.
and sunlight makes them explode, and it's gory and it's action packed and it's funny and it's
Yeah,
entertaining.
it's everything is all jumbled into one.
Yep, exactly.
That whole movie. So it's like it's a really damn good movie. I personally didn't think that I was gonna like it because like one, it's a ballerina, and two,
Hmm.
I'm not really into vampires besides,
Hmm.
Interview with the Vampire. That's like my favorite
That's
one.
my favorite too.
And so I gave it a try. I'm like, holy shit, I actually fucking like this one. Not so much the comedy part, it was the killing scenes, and
Hmm.
the little girl just played this Abigail movie, which is really well. So that's like drawing me in.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's interesting that we just watched Renfield last week and then watched this week, because they're kind of similar in they're trying to be similar almost in that they're vampires and they're gory and they're bloody, but yet they're trying to be funny and they're
Mm,
trying to be silly and a little bit over the top and goofy. And I feel like Abigail does it so much better than Renfield does. Like Renfield,
definitely.
the tone is just all over the place, and one point it's kick-ass action, and then the next point he's all mopey and whatever, and the next point it's
So
Nicolas
like
Cage being
yeah,
Nicolas
like
Cage.
Renfield's kind of like up and then down, up
Yeah.
and then down. And then Abigail's like all over the place.
Yep. Mixes it all together
Yep.
perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So that's
So
my assessment.
I give mine a 10 for sure.
Nice.
For
Full
sure.
10. It's
Yeah.
the highest rating from Breezy Lee. The full
Mm-hmm.
10 gallons of blood.
Yeah, I love it. And I forgot to mention about this. Andrea Jones is actually on Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4.
Oh, really?
We forgot to message him.
Oh,
Excuse me.
well, there you
So
go. Fun fact.
yeah, I'm like, oh shit, we forgot this celebrity.
Yeah.
I'm like, oops, sorry.
Do you think the guy who plays Frank, his voice kind of sounds like Ghostface voice on Scream? He kind of has it.
Similar,
He kind of has it,
not too much.
right? He kind of also reminded me a little of Christian Slater for some
Mm,
reason.
yeah,
He was like mutant Christian Slater.
for sure,
But
for sure.
there's a part where he total spoiler alert, but he gets turned into a vampire, and then he immediately stakes the guy that turned him into a vampire, which explodes, and he is completely covered in blood, and he has these big glasses that he wears most of the movie, and he's just kind of smiling, and then he takes his glasses off without the blood underneath. That's a really cool look. I
Yeah,
think that's a cool.
that's a cool scene too.
Yeah.
All the scenes are just sick and twisted, and I just love it.
Yep. Good stuff.
Yeah, very good stuff.
All right.
So if you
And
have not seen it, definitely go see it in theaters because it's worth your money.
yep, for sure.
Definitely.
All right. Any final thoughts or ideas for this week before we sign off?
So next week we're not going to do any movie reviews. We're actually going to get our very first fan on our show. So stay tuned for
Nice.
that. I'm excited.
We're doing an interview with a fan that also
Mm-hmm.
has some ties with horror. So stay
Yes.
tuned and it'll be a good one.
Yep. That would for sure be a good one.
All right. Well, thank you so much for listening. We'd appreciate it if you tell your friends about us and like and share and especially subscribe or follow. And we'll see you next time.
See you next time.